Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian pairs, but starting with Bitcoin. We haven't looked at this for a little while, and look, it's certainly setting up nicely for a long trade here. So sitting on the this level here, which is medium level, and taking these highs out here would trigger that. Now, there is a possibility that this little section here is corrective, so we may have one more little move down to not necessarily cover this gap, but it does. This market does. When you look back over its history here, this gap here, it came down to have a go at covering. It may have got most of it, may not have. So it does make a bit of an effort, so that gap's a bit of a concern. That's why we're going for this high here. Otherwise, we could just buy it off the level here as such. But if it does pop down here, don't pay. If you're buying it already or you're already holding it and it pops down here, don't worry too much, because I think it'll just be short-lived, and we'll be looking for wave 5 to take out this high here. Now, the Australian dollar. Now, this is got to an interesting point now. So on the daily chart here, this particular low here, we'd been looking at it as the wave 3 low is coming down from here, and looking at this as an A and a B and 5 waves up for the C wave here of wave 4 here. So this whole pattern here at this point in time, at that point there, can be finished. But I don't have any evidence of that. And the evidence that would be required would, first of all, to see an impulse wave to the downside here. Okay. Now, I know that that's not developed. This is like the third wave here and so on. But we're going to pay close attention to it, because we'll look for the short trade. If we get 5 waves down, then we know that after an A and a B wave and a C wave here, then we're going to get another 5 down. Okay, so this is where we want to get in over here, so to speak. This market here would still need to create wave 4 and wave 5, and then have its little ABC here, as I just mentioned, and then down from here. I won't go into detail here, that's already on our charts, but we will be looking for short trades once we can confirm this here. I wouldn't sort of pull the gun out quickly here, because you know, we would, first of all, we're trading against a strong trend here, and yeah, we've got to be careful about that. You know, you don't want to sort of, as I say, don't want to fight the trend or fight the Feds, or pretty much fight anybody really. So the other point here that I like to make too, which is just as valid, is this. I mean, yeah, this brings in another point too. You know, like, while this is a commodity dollar, while it's been rallying here, we have seen stocks rallying, some higher than others. The oil stocks, OSH, BPT, and so on. They've all sort of rallied on the back of this, but we're expecting oil to move down and make new lows. Basically, it's gone up for a 4th wave as well, and we're looking for it to move down here. But that does also leave other stocks in that sort of genre as well. So even stocks that have pushed up really high, like FMG, for example, they could be in the same pattern here as well. And this is why we've moved out of FMG and some of the other ones, and we're just going to see what happens with them as such. The other point too, on the more positive side of things, is it's possible that wave 4 is here, and this is the A, the B, and the C onto this one here. And do I have a wave 5 anywhere around here? Not, but still, we'll get one. So we'll put that. So it's possible that this is wave 5 here, and what this would mean that this would be up for wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here, and the 61.8% mark coming into here would be here. So this is another count that we can't rule out just yet. I don't want to anyway. So that's also a possibility here, but we don't have to really concern ourselves with that just yet. Obviously, if we're shorting, we do, but we'll get to that, and we'll be able to sort of work this out here as it unfolds. You know, even if the first move down is in 5 waves, that would be the A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down into this sort of area here, and then up from here. But we should be able to work out as this unfolds if we've got this as a 3rd wave, 4th and 5th here, or in 3 waves. And because this is the 56% retracement level, it's always quite good really, because look, it's just a bit of a general rule of thumb, you know. This is the 61.8% mark down at 72 here. If the market gets here in 3 waves, then we know that it's going to be corrective and it's going to move up. If it moves down here in 5 waves down here, right, then we know that it's bearish at that point. Now, obviously, that's a long way off, but that general concept that I've just mentioned is very helpful in a lot of instances, and it's always worth repeating now and again as well, because it's not something that you're going to find in the books in terms of Elliott and Fibonacci and all the rest of that stuff. So yeah, just a subtle little point. So the main point is here is that we're just going to give this a little bit of time here. If you're looking to short it already, that's all sort of fine. That wave count is on the chart, so we'll pick up that thread in due course. Okay, so the euro yen and the pound yen. So the euro yen here, as mentioned, I was a little bit unsure about this pattern here, but I understood certain elements within the pattern, and we understood that if these highs here got taken out, that would be long here, and that's the case. And whoops-a-daisy. And so this has still got upside to go, but what I just wanted to point out here, while I'm cleaning all this off here, this can come down and test here before moving further up here. So we'll be looking for 5 waves up here basically. So I can see we got 1 and 2. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that might be the top of the 3rd already. So we're still going up here. So this consolidation over here is important, and also too in terms of other things, 153 here is important, which comes into that consolidation there, because the number 3 is group 1, isn't it? So if we get support on that, well, then we go further up at that stage. So keep your stops out of the way here for the time being. Even if it is sort of wide, it doesn't matter. Bring it. If you had your stops under here, then just bring them up to this point here for the time being. Just allow the market to do its thing. You don't want to be taken out in some sort of spike or something. And of course, the pound Aussie would be much the same as well. So I'm just on the 15-minute chart here, and I don't have my label with me. There it is over there. In this case here, it does count quite nicely as 5 waves up to the upside here. So this is the 50-60% retracement level here. We should be looking at quite a simple ABC correction here as well. I can see the first move down here is pretty much in 3 waves. Yeah. So I was thinking that at worst it could be an ABC like this, and then 5 waves down here, and then 2 here, down again for 1, and so on here. Such like that. So yeah, an A and a B and a C. Now I don't know if that's the case. The other case here is that this is the A wave here, the B wave here, and we got 1 and retest here for 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, and then into this pattern here. Okay, so I'm not quite sure about how that will fold out. It's got a couple of choices there. I could probably work it out on a tick chart to see if we do have an impulse wave down here. If this is a B wave, then we'll get this one over here. If it's 5 waves down here, then we'll just get to the retest of 188, and 8's a profit-taking number, and the number that we want to be careful about halfway between 5 and 8 is that little 65 number I keep sort of harping on about all the time, and that will come into play nicely there if that's going to be the case. So looking for a long trade here, essentially. We just need to get the setup looking right, that's all. So all good there. So I'll just leave that note there. And even worst comes to worst, if we don't understand that, or you don't understand it, it doesn't really matter. What we can do is we can put this back up here, and then we can just get this little or because of this situation, whoops a daisy, because of this possible B wave here, I think we need to be coming 1 point above here for the long trade here, just to be safe. But yeah, all right, that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.